Today I am going to teach about the ischiorectal fossa, which it is very important. Coming to the shape of the ischiorectal fossa is wedge shape. It is the facial lined space on each side of the anal canal below the pelvic diaphragm. It is filled with fat to accommodate the dilatation of anal canal. Okay. So this is the wedge shaped ischiorectal fossa. Okay. So which it is the facial lined space on each side of the anal canal, which it is filled with fat. Base is directed downwards towards the skin. This is the base which it is directed downwards towards the skin, 5 to 6 centimeters deep, and antero-posteriorly 5 centimeters and 2.5 centimeters side to side. Okay, so these are the dimensions of this ischiorectal fossa. This post-anal space, which it is connects two fossa posteriorly by a horseshoe path. Okay, so posterior to this anal canal, there is a connection in between these two fossae. Okay, so that is the horseshoe path. This space is filled with loose areolar tissue and loosely arranged large loculi of fat. Infection of this space leads to abscess formation and are least painful because swelling can occur without tension. Okay, so this is about this ischiorectal fossa general features. Coming to the boundaries of the ischiorectal fossa. Okay, so base of this fossa is formed by skin. Okay, so this is the base of this fossa is mainly formed by the skin. Apex is the meeting point of obturator fascia and inferior fascia of the pelvic diaphragm. Okay, so this is the apex which it is formed by the obturator fascia and also the inferior fascia of the pelvic diaphragm, inferior fascia of the pelvic diaphragm and also the obturator fascia, that is the apex. Anteriorly, which it is limited by the posterior border of perineal membrane. Okay, anteriorly, which it is formed by the posterior border of perineal membrane. Posteriorly, by the lower border of the gluteus maximus and also the sacrotuberous ligament. Okay, so this is the anterior boundary. This one is the posterior boundary by the sacrotuberous ligament and also the lower border of the gluteus maximus muscle. Coming to the lateral wall, which it is vertical and is formed by obturator internus and its obturator fascia and also the medial surface of ischial tuberosity. Medial surface of the ischial tuberosity. Okay, so lateral wall which it is formed by the obturator internus muscle and covering obturator fascia and also the medial surface of the ischial tuberosity. Okay, so that is about the lateral wall. Next, coming to the medial wall, it slopes upwards and laterally and is formed by external anal sphincter with fascia covering it and also the upper part by the levator ani with its anal fascia. That is about the medial wall of this ischiorectal fossa. Coming to the recess. These recesses are narrow extensions of fossa beyond its boundaries. Coming to the anterior recess, it extends forwards above the urogenital diaphragm almost up to the posterior surface of the body of pubis. It extends towards the body of the pubis. Okay. Posterior recess, which it is smaller than anterior recess, it extends deep to the sacrotuberous ligament. Anteriorly, which it is extends towards the body of the pubis, posteriorly towards the deep to the sacrotuberous tuberous ligament. Coming to the third one, horseshoe recess, which it is the deep post-anal space, otherwise post-sphincteric space. It connects the two fossae behind the anal canal. Okay, so this is about the recess. Okay, so this is the anterior recess. Okay, so this one is the main part and this one is the posterior recess of the ischiorectal fossa. Coming to the contents of it, what are the contents which are present within the ischiorectal fossa? Okay, it contains ischiorectal pad of fat, posterior scrotal in male, otherwise in female, labial nerve and vessels, inferior rectal nerve and vessels, perineal branch of fourth sacral nerve, pudendal canal and its contents, and last one, perforating cutaneous branch of S2 and S3 nerves. Okay, so contents of this ischiorectal fossa is mainly by the ischiorectal pad of fat, posterior scrotal, otherwise labial nerve and vessels, inferior rectal nerve and vessels, perineal branch of fourth sacral nerve, pudendal canal and its contents, perforating cutaneous branch of S2 and S3 nerves. Okay, so this is the diagram showing that internal pudendal, vessels and nerves, and here inferior rectal artery within this diagram, and this is the pad of fat, and here this one is the posterior scrotal nerve, inferior rectal nerve and artery. These are the contents which are present within the ischiorectal fossa. Coming to the applied anatomy of this ischiorectal fossa is mainly abscess. Okay, ischiorectal abscess. This ischiorectal fossa is prone for infection due to its location. Infection may occur from boils and abrasions of perianal skin, lesions within the anal canal, pelvic infection, or rarely via the blood. It often forms the abscess, that is called it as ischiorectal abscess. Okay, fat in the fossa is loosely arranged, therefore swelling can occur without tension with little pain. Infection may pass from one fossa to the other fossa through the horseshoe shaped recess behind the anal canal, that is called it as horseshoe shaped abscess. In neglected case, abscess may burst into the anal canal or on the surface of perineum to form the ischiorectal type of anorectal fistula or fistula in ano. Okay, so these are all the ischiorectal abscess: boils, abrasions of the perianal skin, lesions within the anal canal, pelvic infections. Okay, so fat in the fossa is loosely arranged, therefore swellings can occur without tension with little pain, and horseshoe shaped abscess, anorectal fistulas or fistula in ano. These are the applied aspects within the ischiorectal fossa. Okay, so this is the formation of anorectal fistula. This diagram is showing for anorectal fistula. Fat in the ischiorectal fossa provides a cushion-like support to the rectum and anal canal. That is the main function of this ischiorectal fossa. Occasionally, a gap exists between the tendinous origin of the levator ani and obturator fascia. This gap is also called the hiatus of Schwalbe. Okay, and through it, pelvic organs may herniate into the ischiorectal fossa. Okay, so occasionally a gap exists in between the tendinous origin of levator ani and the obturator fascia. It gives rise to hiatus of Schwalbe. Coming to the spaces in the region of ischiorectal fossa. What are the spaces which are present within the ischiorectal fossa? That is the perianal space. Perianal space, that is the subcutaneous space on each side of the anal orifice. Okay, which it is bounded above by the perianal fascia and below by the perianal skin. Okay, So this is the perianal space which it is bounded above by the perianal fascia and below by the perianal skin. It is subdivided into numerous compartments by fibroelastic septa. Fat in the perianal space is tightly arranged in small loculi. Infection in this space causing perianal abscess, which is very painful. Okay, so this is about the perianal space. Coming to the pudendal canal. Pudendal canal, otherwise Alcock's canal. This is the facial canal, which it is present within the lateral wall of ischiorectal fossa. It is about to 1 cm, otherwise 2.5 cm above the ischial tuberosity. This pudendal canal is formed by splitting of obturator fascia, which it is the splitting of the obturator fascia. Okay, that is the pudendal canal. It extends from the lesser sciatic foramen to the posterior limit of deep perineal pouch, which it extends from the lesser sciatic foramen to the posterior limit of deep perineal pouch. Okay, this is the pudendal canal. Contents of this pudendal canal: pudendal nerve and internal pudendal vessels. Pudendal nerve and internal pudendal vessels. These are the contents which are present within the pudendal canal. So this is the pudendal nerve block procedure. So this is about the ischiorectal fossa. Thank you.